Welcome to my channel. What if I tell you that being poor today is not your weakness, but your biggest advantage? Sounds strange, right? But stay with me, because by the end of this video, your thinking about success will completely change. Chapter 1: The Truth About Being Poor, Breaking the Wrong Belief. Let me start with something very simple and very honest. Many people believe that if you are poor, you cannot succeed. Maybe you also think like this. Maybe you feel that life is unfair. Others have money, better schools, better opportunities, and you feel left behind. This feeling is real. I understand it. But here is the truth. Being poor is not the end of your story. It is just the beginning. Being poor is not only about money. It is also about the environment you grow in, the people around you, and the opportunities you see. When you don't have money, you may feel limited. You may think, I cannot do this. I cannot afford that. Slowly, this thinking becomes your belief. And that belief becomes your biggest problem, not the lack of money. But think about this carefully. If being poor means you cannot succeed, then how do so many people change their lives? How do students with no resources become successful? How do people from small villages build big careers? The answer is simple. They did not let their situation control their thinking. Here is an important idea. Struggle creates strength. When you don't have everything, you learn to fight. You learn patience. You learn discipline. A rich person may not feel this hunger, but you do. And this hunger is powerful. Let me give you a simple example. Imagine two people. One has everything: money, comfort, support. The other has nothing: no money, no help, only dreams. Who will work harder? Most of the time, the second person. Why? Because they have a reason. They have pain. And pain can push you forward if you use it correctly. Now, I'm not saying being poor is easy. It is not. It is difficult. It is frustrating. Sometimes it feels unfair. But your situation is not your final result. It is just your starting point. Many people stop here. They accept their situation and never try to change it. But you are different. You are here, learning, listening, improving. Here is where everything starts to change. The moment you understand that your life is not fixed, that you can grow, that you can learn, that you can improve step by step, that moment is powerful. Because now you are not a victim of your situation. You are in control of your future. And let me tell you something very important. No one becomes successful in one day. Every successful person you see today was once unknown. They started small. They struggled. They failed. But they continued. So maybe, just maybe, your situation is not stopping you. Maybe it is preparing you. Chapter 2: The Power of Mindset, the Real Beginning of Success. Now let's move to something even more powerful than money, more powerful than luck, and more powerful than your current situation: your mindset. This is where real success begins. Not outside, but inside your mind. Think about this. Two people can live in the same place, have the same problems, and still have completely different lives. Why? Because they think differently. One person says, my life is hard. I cannot do anything. The other person says, yes, my life is hard, but I will find a way. That small difference in thinking changes everything. Your mindset is like a lens. It decides how you see the world. If your mindset is negative, every problem looks bigger. Every failure feels like the end. But if your mindset is strong, every problem becomes a lesson and every failure becomes a step forward. Let me make it very simple. There are two types of mindset. The first is a fixed mindset. This person believes they cannot change. They say things like, I am not smart. I am not lucky. I cannot learn English, or I will always be poor. These sentences may look small, but they are very dangerous. Because when you repeat them again and again, your mind starts believing them. Now, the second type is a growth mindset. This person believes they can improve. They say, I am not good now, but I can become better. I will learn slowly. I will try again. I will not give up. Do you see the difference? One mindset closes the door, the other opens it. Let's create a small picture in your mind. Imagine two students. Both are learning English. The first student makes mistakes and feels embarrassed. They stop trying. They say, English is too hard. The second student also makes mistakes, but instead of stopping, they smile and say, Okay, I learned something today. After 1 year, who will speak better English? You already know the answer. This is the power of mindset. It decides if you stop or if you continue. Now, here is something very important for you. You don't need to change your whole life in one day. Just start by changing your thoughts. When you wake up, tell yourself, I can improve. When you fail, tell yourself, this is not the end. When you feel tired, remind yourself, I started for a reason. Small thoughts create big changes over time. And remember, your mind can be your biggest enemy or your strongest friend. It can stop you or it can push you forward. So the real question is not, are you poor? The real question is, what are you thinking right now? Because your mind can be poor or your mind can be powerful. You choose. Chapter 3. Learning skills instead of waiting for luck. Now, let's talk about something very practical, something you can start today without money, without connections, and without waiting for the perfect time. That is learning skills. Many people sit and wait. They wait for luck. They wait for help. They wait for the right opportunity. But here is the truth. Successful people don't wait. They prepare. And the best way to prepare is by learning useful skills. Think about this. Money can come and go, but skills stay with you. If you know how to communicate, if you can speak English, if you can solve problems, if you can learn new things, no one can take that away from you. These skills can change your life step by step. Now, maybe you are thinking, but I don't have money to learn. That's okay. Today, you have something very powerful free knowledge. You can learn from videos, from practice, from listening, from trying again and again. You don't need a big classroom to start. You just need the decision to begin. Let's make it very simple. Start with one skill, not 10, just one. Maybe it is English speaking. Maybe it is writing. Maybe it is learning how to focus. Give 1 hour every day. Just 1 hour. No excuses. Even if you feel tired, even if you don't feel motivated, just sit and learn. Now imagine this. 1 hour every day for 1 year. That is more than 300 hours of learning. Do you think you will stay the same person? No, you will grow. Slowly, quietly, but strongly. Here is a powerful moment to think about. There are two people again. One person says, I will start when I have everything. The other person says, I will start with whatever I have. After 1 year, the first person is still waiting. The second person has already changed their life. So ask yourself honestly, which person are you? Also remember, in the beginning, it will feel difficult. You may not understand everything. You may feel slow. You may compare yourself with others. But this is normal. Every beginner feels this way. The difference is some people stop and some people continue. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent. And here is the truth that can change your life. You don't need money to start. You need courage. Courage to take the first step. Courage to continue when it feels hard. courage to believe that your future can be different. So don't wait for luck. Don't wait for someone to come and change your life because you don't need permission to grow. You don't need money to start. You need the courage to begin. Chapter 4: Facing Failure Without Giving Up. Now, let's talk about something that everyone experiences, but very few people understand correctly. That is failure. Most people are afraid of failure. They think failure means they are not good enough. They think failure means the end. So when they fail, they stop. They feel embarrassed. They lose confidence. And slowly, they give up on their dreams. But here's the truth: failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is part of success. Let me explain this in a very simple way. Imagine you are learning to walk. When a baby tries to walk, they fall again and again. Do they stop? No. They keep trying. They don't think, I failed, I will never walk. They just try again. And one day, they walk. So, why do we stop when we grow up? Let's take a real life situation. Maybe you tried to learn English, but you made mistakes. People laughed. You felt shy. So you stopped speaking. Or maybe you worked hard for something, but you didn't get the result. You felt disappointed. So you stopped trying. This is where most people lose. Now, think about this carefully. What if every failure is actually teaching you something? What if every mistake is showing you how to improve? But you will only learn if you continue. Here is a powerful idea. The difference between successful and unsuccessful people is very simple. One stopped, the other continued. That's it. Not talent, not luck, not background. Just the decision to keep going. Let me create another picture for you. Two people start the same journey. Both face problems, both feel tired, both fail many times. But one person says, this is too hard, I quit. The other person says, this is hard, but I will try one more time. After some time, the first person is in the same place. The second person moves forward, slowly but surely. Failure is not there to stop you. It is there to test you. It asks you one question again and again. How badly do you want this? And your answer is not in your words, it is in your actions. Now listen carefully. You will fail. Not once, not twice, many times. But that is not your problem. Your only problem will be if you stop. So when you fail next time, don't say, I am not good enough. Say, I am learning. Don't say, this is the end. Say, this is part of the journey. Because every failure is teaching you something, but only if you don't quit. Chapter 5: Becoming the person who deserves success. Now we come to the most important part of this journey: becoming the person who deserves success. Many people only focus on the result. They say, I want money, I want success, I want a better life. But they forget one thing: success is not just something you get, it is something you become. Let me explain this in a very simple way. Imagine you give a person a big opportunity today, but they are not ready. They don't have discipline. They don't have skills. They don't have the right mindset. What will happen? They will lose that opportunity. So the real question is not, when will success come? The real question is, are you becoming ready for success? Now, close your eyes for a moment and imagine your future self. Imagine you are confident. You can speak clearly. You are skilled. You are focused. You don't give up easily. People respect you. You are living a better life. Now, ask yourself, what kind of person is that? What habits does that person have? Do they waste time? Do they quit when things get hard? Or do they stay consistent even on difficult days? This is where change begins. You don't become successful in one big moment. You become successful in small daily actions, waking up and choosing to learn, practicing even when you feel tired, staying focused when others are distracted. These small actions look simple, but they are very powerful. Let me tell you something important. Discipline is more important than motivation. Motivation comes and goes. Some days you feel excited, some days you don't. But discipline means you continue, no matter how you feel. And this is what builds your future. Now, understand this clearly: your life will not change in one day. But if you keep improving every day, your life will definitely change one day. Slow growth is still growth, small progress is still progress. So don't rush, don't compare yourself with others. Just focus on your journey. Focus on becoming better than you were yesterday. And remember the message of this whole video: you may be poor today. Your situation may be difficult, you may feel behind. But if you keep learning, keep working, and never give up, your future will not stay the same. Because success is not for the lucky, it is for the prepared. And if you continue this journey, tomorrow will belong to you. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who really needs this message. And comment below, "I will succeed," because your journey starts today.